What is up, guys? This is Linthio coming at you with a brand new deck profile of my Galaxy deck. Now, Galaxy Photon deck is more of a Galaxy deck, but nevertheless, this is a deck that I've been waiting for because of this beauty. I've been waiting for Galaxy Soldier for so long, and it's finally come out in the World Superstars. So, without further ado, we'll go straight into it so you can see how the deck lines up, or how my version runs up, and as you can see, I'm running Vanities. So, to start it off, we have the 3 Galaxy Soldier. I don't care what you say, you have to run 3 in this deck because it's the best card. If you don't know what it does, basically you can special summon it by discarding one other light monster from your hand, special summon it in face-up defense position, and when you do, and when the card special summons, you can search out one Galaxy monster from your deck to your hand, but you can only activate the effect once per turn. So, card is absolutely incredible. This is what the deck really needs because you can do so many different combos with this, and I'll tell you about them in a little bit, but nevertheless, you have to have 3. The fact he's level 5 light just makes him just so much better. So, then we have the 2 Galaxy Eyes. Now, I know I have 2 different rarities. First world Yu-Gi-Oh! Problems right here, but I couldn't get another Ghost and I couldn't get another ulti, so I've gone for either of them. So, yeah, so I'm running 2 because 3 clogs hard, and 1 just you don't see it enough because you do actually use it with a lot of different cards in the deck. So, it's actually quite important cards, but you don't particularly want to draw it all that often. You either want to search it with the Galaxy Expedition, or you want to be able to have it in your hand for fodder for this guy. Because there's a cool combo that if you open up these 2, you can make a rank 8 with this from just 2 cards. Because you Galaxy Soldier, discard that, and then you search out the Galaxy Knight, and then normal summon the Galaxy Knight, get this back, and you've got a rank 8 level right there. And then you still have 3 cards if you're going first to play with, or even 4 if you're going second. So, yeah, it's really important. It's a key card in the deck, and and just in general, his effect's pretty good. So then we have 2 Galaxy Knight, as you just saw then. Galaxy Knight is pretty important, but he really clogs at 3. Just too many times when I was running him at 3, I'd see him in my opening hand, and I'm like, I'd rather search you off of Soldier when I need you, to be honest. Now, with that mentality, you could say we can only run 1, but he's actually really important. Like, late game, you can actually use his effect pretty well. Obviously, he's a dead draw in his own, but nevertheless, you can use him pretty well. Then we have 3 Galaxy Wizard. Galaxy Wizard's a very important card in this deck. Not only does it have synergy to make himself a level 8, so I can use him then for Galaxy Expedition to bring out a Galaxy Eyes, he also allows me to search out those Galaxy cards in my deck by tributing himself. So it's actually really important. Card is just really great, and that's why I run some other cards that you'll see in a little bit. But yeah, Galaxy Wizard is very important. I'll just say now I don't run Honest because it's a little bit overkill for me. I don't feel that I need to run Honests because the deck's just way too tight. So then we have 2 Artifact Scythe. I run the Artifact Engine simply because of Galaxy Soldier being a level 5. You can abuse the level 5s in this deck so well that I run, obviously, the Artifact Engine. And it's still a pretty good engine, nevertheless. Yes, Moral Attack is at 1, but Scythe just really makes up for it because it's just a great card in general. So we run the 2 Scythe, don't run 3 because it's just way too much. The 1 Moral Attack because, you run in basically a maximum value. And the 1 Beagle Tech simply because it's a pretty, decent card. I run some other things which will make sense in a sec just to use this card, but yeah. And then the final monster, which I should have really put with the Galaxy stuff, but is just 1 Cloud Dragon. Now, Cloud Dragon is a bit of a conundrum card for me. If you don't know what it does, you contribute it to special summon a Galaxy Eyes monster from your hand or the graveyard. If it's a deck, I would run more. You can only accept himself, then you can only activate that effect once per turn. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target 1 Galaxy XYZ card or Galaxy Eyes XYZ card and then basically attach it as a material, but you can only use that effect once per duel. So, as you can see, it's a cool card. It looks really cute. Look at him. He's adorable. Being able to get a Galaxy Eyes from your graveyard or from your hand is pretty decent. Being able to get it from your deck would be much better, just because it means that you don't have to draw it. But if you want to play that type of builds, then where you really want to utilize this effect, you're going to have to start adding in other things like Foolish and Mathematicians, if you really want to get them out of the deck. And I just don't think that's good enough, to be honest. It's here for a bit of a sack, to be honest. Maybe a top deck is quite a nice thing. But if I'm honest, I'm just testing him out to see how he's going. So far it's alright. It's quite nice as well. It's an extra target for Soldier to be able to discard, and then if I do go into a Galaxy Eyes XYZ, I can attach it to it, so yeah. Going on to the spells, we have the 3 Galaxy Expedition. Really love this card, it's just so good. Opening this and say like a wizard just means that you can go into a rank 8 build, a rank build XYZ if you do wish. So it's just a really solid card, can be nicely used off Galaxy Soldier. Obviously you can bring out another Soldier if you want to go into a rank 5 play, so on and so forth. But yeah, overall this card's really good. You want to open it up as much as possible, in my opinion. Then we have 3... Ignition, simply because I run 4 total artifacts, and this is just doubles up as a MST, to be honest, you know, so it's still a pretty good card. And if I do unfortunately have that Beagle tech that I've drew and got this, I can then abuse it by saying, hey, okay, well, I'll just destroy my own Beagle tech, set of cards from my deck, and then Beagle tech's effect kicks in to then special summon, destroy a back row, and bring out another one. So, you know, it's still pretty good. 2 Excel Light. Now, I kind of wish I might run this at 1, because the only target in this deck is Galaxy Wizard, and while this is great like first turn, it's a little bit of a dead draw at times, and yeah, it's just really painful to sometimes see this when you know it's just dead. So I'm still testing it at 2. 3 was horrible, obviously, and 1 it was alright, but I didn't see it as much as I thought I would like to. So yeah, I'm just running it at 2 for now, just to see how it's going. It's alright, but yeah, nevertheless. Then we have the 1 Galaxy Zero. Now, I'm only running this at 1 because it clogs so hard, and it's actually not as amazing as you first might think. Targeting a Photon or a Galaxy in your graveyard, then special summon it in attack position is great, but it can't attack and activate its effects, and it's not that great. And even though it's built-in protection where if the monster dies by battle, this just goes, but it makes the monster 0, and that's alright. And I know, obviously, it's meant to be used with Galaxy Eyes and all that, but... It's just a bit of a painful card to run at times and to see, so I'm just running it at 1 just for those overlaying options. Then we have the 2 Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion's really great in here because I only have level 5 targets. I have 2 of them, which you'll see in a minute. And Artifacts and Galaxy Soldier with this is just great, so yeah, no real need to talk about Instant Fusion. I'll show you the card in a bit. The 1 Soul Charge, simply because I can make big, beefy monsters and just protect myself for that turn if I so wish. So yeah, Soul Charge is pretty decent. And then finally the 1 Raigeki to round off all of the spells, because Raigeki is just a great card. So going into the traps, we have 2 Tachyon Transmigration. Really love this card. I think it looks absolutely incredible just to start off with. And just in general, it's a really good card. So if you don't know what it does, it's a counter trap. If you control a Galaxy Eyes monster, negate the activations of your opponent's spell and trap cards. Spell, trap, and monster effects activated before this card in a chain. If you do, shuffle all the negated cards on the field into the deck. If you have a Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon monster, or if you control it, you can activate this card from your hand. So if you resolve this card, it's pretty broken. And this is also another reason why I am running this little guy, because he fulfills the requirement, Galaxy Eyes monster. So, you know, it's pretty good on that sense if you do just want that, but either way, it's just a really nice card. Being able to activate it from the hand as well is actually really nice, because it means that you can hold it back and really kind of off-put your opponent, because a lot of people really don't know what the hell this does and don't expect it at all. Being able to, you know, really hurt your opponent if they're going really hard on a chain, especially with like I did this on testing against someone who was playing chain burn. They did 5 and then I flipped this and they just quit, because obviously you would quit. There goes 5 cards. I'm absolutely minusing you completely. But overall this card's really cool. It's a really nice card and I do like it. 1 Tachyon Chaos Hole. Again, I quite like this. If you don't know what it does, when a face-up Galaxy XYZ monster you control is destroyed by battle with your opponent's attacking monster, or by your opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, destroy as many face-up cards your opponent controls as possible, and if you do, banish them. During your draw phase, if this card is in your graveyard, instead of conducting your normal draw phase, you can, instead of conducting your normal draw, you can banish this card and then target 1 Galaxy Eyes monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. So this came out in Primal Origins quite a while ago, and everyone overlooked it because obviously Galaxy support is kind of not really used. And this card is pretty good, but you don't really want to see it all that often. That's why I just run it at 1. It's just a nice one-of, if I'm completely honest. And being able to use it, with like Galaxy Eyes Cloud Dragon, because you can banish it to bring back, say, like, I don't know, Tachyon Dragon and then equip. So, there are some cool little combos with it, but other than that, it's just a one-of, if I'm completely honest. Then we have 3 Artifact Scythe, absolutely incredible card. We have 4 targets in the deck, and I know that you might say, well, you've got 3 cards that bring them out in Ignition, and also this. Well, that is true, but just in general, this is a great card because it also baits out any of your opponents, like if they want to try and MST a back row, well, I can just put this back there. So it makes your opponent question what they're going to MST a lot of the time, simply because I do run other back row cards, but nevertheless, Sanctum is just really great. Then I run triple Call the Haunted. This should be pretty self-explanatory. Recycling any of the artifacts, being able to bring back, Galaxy Eyes, really big. Being able to bring back Soldier as well, because the card says when this card is special summoned, you can add blah blah blah. Which is actually really important because a lot of these new cards say that they have to, like the Scepters, they have to be special summoned in a certain way, and then they gain that effect once they have fulfilled that summoning requirement. So being able to use Call the Haunted on all of these cards is just absolutely great. And yeah, it's just overall, come back at you. Overall, it's just a great card for the deck. 2 Fiendish Chain, again, this is just to stop any annoying little effects going off. We don't want to see them, so that is why I run Fiendish Chain. And you saw it at the very first card, basically. The 1 Vanities, because there's nothing like having a counter trap Vanities and this. Apologies for my phone then. I'm just throwing it on my bed now. I don't want it to go off anymore. So, going on to the extra deck. We have the 2 Tachyon Dragon. This is here because obviously I run the counter trap, and it means that if I do have this on board, I can activate the counter trap from hand. So that's pretty good if you ask me. Then we have the number 62. This card's just really great, but an important thing to remember, if you do overlay with the Galaxy Eyes, make sure the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon is detached last. Because if you do attack, activate the effect, detach Galaxy Eyes, then the damage goes in halved. So that's a very important thing to remember. Then we have the 1 Dark Matter Dragon. You might think, hey Will, why are you running Dark Matter Dragon? Well, that's simply because I can easily overlay it onto any of these 3 that you saw earlier. And also because it means I can attack twice and clear my opponent's board a little bit more. Now, obviously, I'm not going to get off the main effect that I'm milling, but the only reason he's here is for a 4000 beta that can attack twice of my opponent's monsters. It's pretty good. Then we have the 1 Felgrand. That is here simply because it's level 8. It's a great level 8 and it's a Felgrand, so I don't really need to talk much about that. Alcee is also here just to spin any cards that we don't really like, and 3200 defense isn't bad. And also, if I do want to try my luck at sacking my opponent by guessing a card right and drawing, that can be done. The 1 Gaia Charger, this is here for the rank 5s that you'll see in a second now. So we have 2 Constellar Pallades. So I know DT and Secret, I can't find another DT and I couldn't be bothered getting another Secret. So Pallades is here simply because it's one of the best rank 5s that you can do in this deck. As I said, there are so many light level 5s in here in this deck, including the artifacts and also Galaxy Soldier, that you can just make him so easily. And the amount of times on my first turn I've made, for example, a Tachyon Dragon and a Pallades is actually not that difficult. So it's pretty good. 1 Zenmayo, this is just here to blow up any back row. It's also pretty useful if I want to use it, against my artifacts or anything, just clear the way. I know you might say, well, you can only do it in your opponent's turn. Well, that is correct, but, it just depends on how you actually want to play the deck. More often than not, you're going to be actually killing your opponent's back row. The 1 Tyrius, again, standard level 5. Durandal, again, I'm running artifacts, so it just makes sense to run this card. And then finally, the final rank 5 is the 1 of Volcasaurus, because Volcasaurus is just a great card. There's nothing like so many Volcasaurus popping and then overlaying into Gaia Dragon. And then finally, the 2 instant fusion targets are the Panzer Dragons, or Panzer Drak, as this card is because it's German and I love it. So, Panzer Dragon is in here simply because it's a really easy access to Pallades or any other rank 5s. It's a light, so I can go into Pallades if I so wish, and 2/6 is also not bad defense, if I want to bring it out or any way, shape or form. But worst possible case, I can instant fusion, bring it out, let it die, and then pop a card on the field. So it's a really solid card in general. So that is the deck profile, guys. I realise that this is now nearly a 15-minute deck profile, but as I say with all of my new decks, I want to make sure that I explain all my choices and my cards and all the support just because it's brand new. So that is it. I want to know what you guys think of the deck. I really love this deck so much. There's a little bit more tweaking that I want to do with it, but I feel that the Artifact Engine is definitely the way to go. The two other support cards, well, you saw the Galaxy Eyes card, but the Quick Time keep saying Quick Time today. The Quick Play spell card is not actually that great in my opinion, because it just has too many restrictions. Here it is here. It just has too many restrictions, to be honest. If you control a Galaxy Eyes monster target, so you have to have a Galaxy Eyes on the field, be able to activate the card, and then you can only activate it in your turn if you have a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. It's pretty, bad cost. But the card overall is incredible, but, if it just didn't have so heavy restrictions, I would play it. But that is it, guys. I hope you did enjoy the deck profile. I realize this is a bit of a longer one, but I hope you did enjoy it. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think of the deck and Galaxy/Photons in general. Like, comment, subscribe, and I shall catch you guys later.